What's up, tricksters, and welcome to another episode of Omen to Immortal series, a series where I'm teaching you my best Radiant tips, tricks, and strategies for Omen. In the last episode, we had a bit of rough time because of the toxic Ascendant players, and I showcased you what it truly means to have unbreakable mentality in order to carry your games. But today, your Papito is gonna teach you how to play smart in order to consistently climb through the ranked SoloQ jungle of Valorant. If you have any questions about Omen, feel free to ask me down in the comments, or you can join my Discord for private professional coaching. Other than that, it's time to reveal you some secrets of Radiant consistency, baby! Now, this gaming session, we're starting with my El Papito Shorty strategy in the first round on Defender side of Haven. This tactic I've already explained in depth in the previous episodes of this series, but the only difference here is that if enemies are using some recon utility to reveal you on these close quarter positions, such as Sova Drone, you need to immediately deploy this smoke in the middle of choke point, because this will allow you to dodge enemies' recon utility, get back into the smoke, and close the gap with Shorty for some easy kills.
Cover going out.
Enemy spotted A.
Go.
One side.
Shadows trapped.
One enemy remaining.
Last shot.
Spike down A.
The best strategy in the game, bro! Also, Jesus Crosser is always giving you 20% holy aim boost. Here's a bit of Radiant coaching tips for proper economy management in Valorant. If you win the first round, second round is always a full buy, where you need to have heavy shield and buy some kind of a weapon that is gonna allow you to easily win second anti-eco and potentially the third bonus round as well, while the rest of the credits you're investing in your utility. But if you save the light shield from the first round, never change it for the heavy shield. It's unnecessary. Also, if you save Sheriff from the first round, you don't need to buy any other weapon in the second round. Now, in these anti-eco rounds, your number one priority is closing out the rounds without any casualties, so that we can save as many weapons as possible for the third bonus round. And then in the fourth round, we have an enormous amount of credits for the rest of our match. Also, for maps such as Haven, on Defender side, the absolutely best anti-eco and bonus round weapons are usually Stinger, Judge, and Bulldog. I personally prefer Stinger because it costs significantly less than any other half-buy weapon, and I generally stay away from Spectre because Stinger has much lower TTK and higher kill potential. Especially in the third bonus round against enemies that have Vandals or Phantoms with heavy shield, Stinger is much better option. This is why in Valorant you want to become the master of every weapon and abuse them based on economy, agents, strategies, and the maps that you're playing.
Cover going out. Stealing sight. Unimportant.
One enemy remaining.
Window.
Window.
Now, after stopping enemies' push on B site and being left in a 4v1, my whole team decided to rush the last enemy like a iron boosted gorillas, which left me in an unnecessary 1v1 situation. Remember, my friends, if you have high numbers advantage, never hunt for the kills. Play together and close out the round on a refresh potential. If you already want to fight enemies, open your microphone, tell me that you're going for the kill so that I can play with you and give you a proper support. Valorant Ranked is all about team play. This is not a deathmatch. Now, since I was left in a 1v1, I needed to gamble on which bomb site enemy chamber is going to finish. This was a complete 50-50 gamble because it's only the second round of Defender side and I have no idea where he's going to end. But notice how I position myself. I'm not playing on site and allowing chamber to destroy me from multiple different angles. Instead, I'm completely removing the factor of luck and timings by positioning on tower while I'm holding only one angle at this moment of time. And also from this position, I can easily surprise and kill him if he decides to plant the spike on a site. My friends, this is what I call the Radiant consistency when it comes to smart positioning.
Spike planted.
Idiot! Idiot! Better! Better!
No charges.
The cleaning the community. I am toilet cleaner from McDonald's but working at a fucking Valorant community. No problem, guys. I'm here for you. Now, we've already covered this in previous episodes, but on Lotus, most of the time when you're taking aim and control, you want to teleport behind rubble and take additional space for your teammates. The only time when I'm not going for this play is if I notice that enemies are spamming rubble with some utility, such as Raise-Nade or Gecko Molly. And this is why you should always watch every video from beginning to the end if you don't want to miss some important information. But also on my Discord server, you can access the Omen ranked playbook with all of my strategies and tactics for every single Valorant map, which will instantly upgrade your IQ to carry your boosted teammates in SoloQ.
Pushing, man, pushing. What are you
Down
doing?
A.
One more,
One more.
One enemy remaining.
No charges.
one more.
No, bro. She went for a swing there with a Spectre, man. Remember this huge tip, my friends. In Valorant, you don't always go for the headshots, because sometimes going for body shots is far better option. Of course, you should be training yourself to be disciplined and primarily aim your crosshair at the enemy's head level, but you need to use your big brain even when you're aiming, and this is not something that can be on autopilot mode. For an example, if I'm playing against enemies that are eco, it's smarter to primarily go for body shots and spray them down, instead of relying on one taps to the head, which is much harder and less reliable because of the first bullet inaccuracy. If enemy is not looking at me or they are low HP, it's better to go for an easy spray rather than missing my first bullet to the head. If you're playing operator, you're always aiming at the enemy's torso because you don't need to go for a headshot. If you're playing a weapon with high recoil, such as Stinger, you're usually aiming slightly below enemy's neck because the recoil will naturally navigate some of the bullets to the head. If you're playing some shotgun, you're always placing top of the circle on the enemy's neck, so that majority of pellets are going to hit the abdominal level and land onto enemies. If you're playing Marshall in anti-eco rounds where enemies usually have no shields at all, you should primarily go for body shots, but if enemies are half buy or full buy, most of the times you're aiming at their head. Even when I'm playing Sheriff in the first round on defender side, sometimes I'm also not aiming primarily for the headshot, because I want to apply as much damage as possible before I commit myself into some 50-50 gunfight. For an example, you're playing first round of defense on Lotus with our Sheriff. We can take this angle as our starting position, go for 1 or 2 body shots and immediately switch to another angle on the bomb site. From this position we can go for another body shot and then switch to this location. On this location we can jiggle peek enemies and go for another body shot. By abusing these 3 locations in the exact same way that I've showcased, if we successfully land 4 body shots, we applied 220 damage with a Sheriff, which is an enormous amount of damage for the first round that our teammates can use to easily finish off enemies, or we can use it to kill enemies with some kind of a utility. And at the end of the day, if you end up in some kind of a 50-50 gunfight, that fight is gonna be significantly easier for you. My main mindset, especially on defender side, is to abuse as many off angles and 70-30 gunfights as possible, before committing myself into some 50-50 fight that I cannot escape, and where I need to rely on my raw mechanical skill in order to kill enemies. Because any damage that you apply during those incremental fights will allow me or my teammates to have easier time finishing off those damaged enemies. This is also why headshot percentage in Valorant doesn't matter that much. For an example, I've been Radiant 20 times since closed beta, and I never had an overall headshot percentage higher than 20. And with Vandal or Phantom, usually it's around 26 to 30. Now, what is the moral of this story? You don't need to become mechanically skilled as someone like Demon 1 in order to become a pro or Radiant. All you need to do is create easy gunfights that work in your favor, use your brain, and play smart.
He's here. One heaven. Finish heaven. He dropped.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, inside. Oh man, you're my favorite.
Can I please not play Lotus anymore? Valorant, like, we played 9... Listen, you can tag me later with maybe a Prime sub or something. No need to do it now. I'm cleaning the community for you. Now traveling to Ascent. We're doing a fast 5-man push onto A site and enemies are half by. Enemy Omen did an instant smoke for A main, and my Chaos Knife suppressed 2 enemies inside of it, which led me to believe that they're probably playing with close-range weapons around this smoke, and that's why I said this. They're gonna play inside of the smoke.
Going out.
Go shotgun. Now in this scenario, even though my teammates had a call that enemies are playing close to the smoke, they just pushed like a boosted bonobos. In this type of rounds, you just need to play a bit slower. Even if your push gets stopped or delayed for a few seconds, it's better to wait a bit. Spam the smoke, reveal enemies with Sova drone. Everything is better than pushing through a choke point that is guarded with maybe 2 judges or some other close-range weapons that can decimate us in this situation. These type of mistakes you can't really fix in any way, and if I pushed as well with my teammates, I probably would have died like a potato without any potential to control the outcome of this round. Now in this 3v3 scenario, I made a lot of small mistakes that could have costed us this round. First of all, I was extremely focused on the flank for which we didn't have any information, which resulted in both me and Sova not supporting our Jett while she was taking the side control alone. In Valorant, you always want to support your most aggressive teammates that you know for a fact are going to take some kind of a fight or additional space. Secondly, instead of going for this pointless aggressive play, I should have just done a default switch smoke, killing Cypher on rafters and potentially allowing my Sova to push faster and safely into the bomb site. Because of these 2 mistakes, my Jett was overexposed and she died in a 1v1 fight on short, and my Sova died from an enemy that is indeed flanking, which left me in a 1v3 scenario.
Not ready yet. My ultimate is ready. Watch them run.
Now, after that horrible spray on Cypher and planting the spike on B site, I need to play more aggressive to surprise enemies and potentially isolate them into 1 versus 1 gunfights. On top of that, I have only 13 HP and enemy Yoru has the ultimate, which he can easily use to reveal me on the site and close out this round.
1 enemy remaining.
3 killed. Shadows traveling. Who's next?
Thankfully in Valorant, players usually split apart like their father left their family years ago for milk, and nobody plays on a refresh potential. Sova and Yoru, thank you for an easy clutch, and your fathers would be proud of you.
Close.
1 enemy remaining.
Now in this round, enemies took A side control and they're planting the spike. Generally speaking, in this scenario, it doesn't really matter if I'm playing with my Raze or Killjoy, as long as I'm playing with any of them, since both of them have amazing ultimates for the retake. But since I have the operator, it's much easier for me to snipe enemies from CT and tower rather than going from dish. That's why I've used my ultimate to reposition towards Raze, but also I did it slightly deeper in CT so that enemies have no idea where I've teleported, which will keep my location a secret and put an additional layer of pressure onto enemies. Here I knew that enemies will get pushed into CT, tower or A main because of our Killjoy's ultimate, and that's why I was playing this position to listen where enemies are going to rotate, unless enemy Brimstone does the ultimate, which he did. But still, because of the Killjoy ultimate, I knew that Cypher will probably play around Sands or tower since he killed our Raze from this location a few seconds ago. After that kill, I immediately used my paranoia to take the full sense control, while giving my Killjoy the smoke on top of the spike for a safe defuse. But I still used another shallow smoke in the A main choke point in order to play inside of it to potentially catch enemies off guard once they decide to push or spam the smoke.
Enemy remaining. Last player standing.
Unfortunately, my Killjoy got spammed just as she was about to half defuse the spike and we lost this round, but it was a
Valiant effort.
Also, there are 2 additional big brain tips from this specific round. Whenever you're on the retake and you have a chance to switch your operator for some automatic weapon, just do it! Because missing that one crucial shot can cost you your life, or you might lose the whole round. The only scenario where I would have kept operator for this retake is if I was extremely low HP. And remember that with Omen Shrouded Steps, you can always free yourself from Fade's Seize ability, which came quite in handy for this 2v2 scenario in order to position myself faster instead of the A main smoke. Now, I've already talked about this in previous episodes, but learning how to hold these tight pixel angles is an extremely easy way to get some free kills, especially with Operator.
1B mid.
My ultimate is ready.
Generally speaking, in Valorant, you primarily want to hold angles as tight as your reaction time allows you, unless you have high ping, monitor with refresh rate that is below 120, or you have extremely low frames per second. Many of these tips on how to improve your reaction time and much more useful content you can find on my Discord server for professional Valorant coaching.
Okay, he's going back. One main.
Blinding. Cover going out.
One enemy remaining.
I need to emphasize this one more time. Always keep the shorty as your secondary weapon. It's gonna come in handy for these type of situations. Now let's fast forward a bit. After that kill on the Brimstone, we were left in a 3v1, but enemy Jet took the spike and she started running towards A site. Both of my teammates got jabaited, so they did a rotation and they're kinda playing together, so I decided to anchor B site while playing alone. This is a perfect example of disciplined gameplay and smart positioning. My main goal in this scenario is not to kill Jet or to guard the bomb site. I don't really care if she plants the spike. But my actual goal is to stay alive, play the retake on a 1v3 refrag potential while cutting off all of the positions from which she can lurk into the CT before or after she plants the spike. I mean, in a 1v3 scenario, she needs to play a bit more aggro in order to isolate 1 versus 1 duels. But unfortunately for Jet, Papito ain't stupid, and instead of playing on the bomb site where I can get fricked up from so many different positions because of luck and timing, I decided to isolate all of these angles into one and to play with full discipline.
Spike planted.
He's dead. Oh, he's almost dead.
Don't give him 1v1.
Yeah, waiting.
Push hold it.
Ladies and gents, this is the prime example of how you need to play in ranked SoloQ in order to fully control outcome of your rounds. Unfortunately, you can't always control the outcome of your games. Even though I performed really well in this match, we still lost. So in order to regain my mental stamina for the next game, I'd highly appreciate if you subscribe on my YouTube channel, leave a like, and also follow me on Twitch for some daily live streams and ranked SoloQ shenanigans, baby. Now it's time for another minigame for free Valorant points. Tell me down in the comments what was my thought process during this specific retake on B side of Lotus, and whoever gives the most accurate explanation is going to win a free battle pass.
Enemy spotted B.
Last player standing.
Both.
One enemy remaining.
Think.
You might flash.
He has ult, he has ult. You have to go fast.
Cover going out. Shadows traveling. Off your feet! My ultimate is ready.
What the fuck?
Speaking of shorty,
Performance.
after that tough loss on Fracture, Valorant Elder Gods blessed us with an easy win on Lotus where I didn't need to do anything special except that retake clutch that you saw in the previous clip. Thank you, Riot Games. Now, after cleansing Valorant community, we're back onto the winning streak, which leaves us on 6 more wins until the end of this series. Who knows, maybe the next episode will be the last one for this epic journey. But nonetheless, there's still plenty of Radiant tips, tricks, and strategies that I need to teach you. Thank you for the support, and I'll see you, my dear tricksters, in the next one.